Hi guys, I'm Mike with the School of Self-Reliance, and today I want to talk about the Ultimate Survival Kit. There it is. It doesn't look like much. Not very big, butt pack size. And I've worked a long time really thinking this kit through to make probably the best survival kit that I could come up with. And this kit is intended to come, and you have to forgive me, this is kind of a prototype deal. We're going to sell this kit on the website, but you can build it yourself if you want to. This belt is not the right color, obviously, but it's a molly belt, kind of like a battle belt, but very, very thin. Padded, so on. The idea is that you're going to wear this like a butt pack. You can also throw it over your shoulder if you want to wear it like a man purse, that's fine. But, you know, me personally, I'll do without the purse. But if you want to wear the belt and at the same time you want to undo this and have it around you while it's still on the belt, you make this longer in order to do it, obviously. You can. Now, this kit, this is the part that I was working on the hardest, is making this kit weigh an amount that you won't mind carrying it and wearing it on your belt all day long. I get sick and tired of these stories of my canoe turned over and I lost my backpack on all these survival shows. You know, so I had no gear. Well, we all like watching survival shows because we get to see a guy ass out in the middle of nowhere, you know, just screwed from the word jump. And that's fun, that's good TV. It's not very realistic. Those situations really don't exist that much, and they shouldn't exist if you've brought your stuff with you. If you've packed your gear and you've thought ahead. They shouldn't exist. But to make it easier for them not to exist, I thought that the kit that you carried should weigh less than 8 pounds. And this does it. It's less than 8 pounds and it covers everything. So let's take a look at what's inside. All right, as far as the content, we've got a knife, we've got our shelter, and it's not a crap shelter. This is a really good one by Proforce. And it's a bivy or stasha. Or basha, they're called all three, shelter. Now this is 10 by 10. It's got its stakes, it's got its ropes, and it weighs next to nothing. It is made out of sil nylon, and it goes together in a lot of configurations. And we're going to show you some stuff about how to use this. But this is a super excellent shelter. I have used bivy and stasha shelters my entire life. I have slept 3 men with all their gear in rainstorms and cold weather and everything else underneath one of these and have always been dry and comfortable. Anyway, so we got the bivy shelter. We've got your sleeping arrangement. It's a U.S. military casualty blanket. Because we're not trying to carry a sleeping bag. However, this is not your average survival blanket. It's not the crappy little Walmart thin tear up in 2 seconds piece of equipment. This one, much, much better, much thicker, almost quilted. Anyway, this is over 90 inches long and over 80 inches wide, so you can really wrap up in this. You can also use it as a ground cover if you wanted to. I would suggest, you know, that you pile up natural material and you use it that way. Okay, as far as collecting and carrying water, I used the Vapure collapsible water bottles. 1 liter and a 33-ounce one. And these are great because they can be clipped on, hung when they're full, directly on your belt or other things. And when they're not full, they just roll up, and literally, they roll into nothing. And they can just be stuffed in. They're very durable too. They're not cheap crap. And when they fill, they expand down here on the bottom. And they won't really stand up by themselves, but they expand. So you can fit a decent amount of water. Like I said, you can fit over 1 liter in this one, 33 ounces in this one. And when the kit is done, we'll probably offer it with just 2 33-ounce bags. And these Vapure, I tried to get the most subdued color that I could. This is it. So if you want to, you're going to have to color it. You know, if you put a kit like this together yourself, you have to color these in. You could do it with paint. You could do it with a marker. Or if you don't mind the blaze orange, some people don't, then that's fine too. But when you're done with them, like I said, when you've got water in them, they can just be hooked and hang. And they come off real easy. So you can collect dirty water, and when you make it clean by boiling it, you can fill up your water over here. Okay, so knife, bivy shelter, ground pad, and substitute for a sleeping bag, the casualty blanket. You come over here, we've got a cooking vessel. Aluminum's made by Essie. Now, I would suggest that you make a micro food kit in here and carry it with you everywhere that you go. What I've done, oatmeal, protein honey barbecue peanuts, 20 grams of protein, 430 calories. Lots of fat, lots of carbs, weighs nothing. Trail mix, again, 185 calories, bunch of them from fat, good protein, you know, decent fiber, lots of carbs. A pack of ramen, almost 400 calories, decent enough protein, good carbohydrates, got fat in it. It's what you need. It's going to get you by if you get stuck. And then I put in a relatively comfort-based item. 2 packs of instant Folgers coffee and 8 packs of Domino sugar. I like the coffee sweeter. So this is something that in the morning, it'll give you a little boost, a little bit of caffeine, get you on your way, make you feel a little bit better, get rid of some of that muscle fatigue. And at night, eat something, drink a hot cup of coffee, make you feel better. And I'd suggest that when you get this kit, that you make a similar micro food kit to go inside of it. It's cheap, it's easy. That whole thing cost me $4.30 to put that food in there. So not bad, cheap enough. So there's the cooking vessel. School of Self-Reliance fire kit. Like I told you in the video about the fire kit, it's a never fail kit. Some people might ask what I was going to do with the coffee that's in here. You know, if you're cooking in this vessel, making your ramen, how are you going to have your coffee? The tin from this. You can make your coffee in there. Survival straw, Frontier. I cut it down, the packaging, just to fit it in there. But you can get many gallons of water out of that before you have to boil or anything like that, so you can just suck straight out of the creek if you have to. School of Self-Reliance fishing kit, so that you can start fishing and using some of this stuff for trapping material before this runs out. If you don't know what's in the fishing kit, reference the videos. We'll put up some pictures of these all laid out so that you can see it. School of Self-Reliance medical kit. Didn't have the room in the pouch, or to put a medical pouch on here, so we just had to use the available space. And this is a comprehensive kit. We have a list for a kit in one of our other videos, and we'll put up some pictures from that and so on. I'm not going to bother to break down the whole kit right now, but it's a real kit with the stuff you actually need: an ace bandage, quick clot in case you have a terrible emergency, some kind of bad cut. But it's got all the things that you really actually are going to run into, including anti-diarrhea medication. I see so many medical kits that are meant for woodsmen that get lost in the woods. And if you're out in the woods eating strange things, trying to find food, one of the most likely things that's going to happen to you is you're going to get diarrhea. And everybody says, don't do this because it'll give you diarrhea. Well, if you have some anti-diarrheal medication in there, it would really, really help. But there's a lot of other stuff in here. My med kits are really well thought through. I see a lot of other people's that are not. Edible plant cards, region specific. This one is for Eastern North America. And it gives you edible and poisonous plants for the region that you're in. These are available for every region on the planet. So if you order the kit through us, we're going to give you the right pack for the area that you request. But this is going to give you most of your basic plants that you can actually find and eat in the area that you're in. So the Mora that I included, the knife, it's just a Mora Army. It isn't the greatest knife in the world. It's a good Mora, but I don't intend this to be your primary knife. I intend that this is going to be the secondary knife, because you're probably, if you were out hunting or in the woods, you probably had your regular knife with you. But this one's one that's surgically sharp, good for skinning game. If you do have to open yourself up, you know, cut something out, those types of things, this is the one I'd use. And I couldn't make a survival kit without putting a knife in it, and this is the one that fit the bill. Anyway, and then there's the pouch. But you've got real shelter, not a crap shelter. One of the things that people spend the most time on in a survival circumstance is building a shelter. And one of the most labor-intensive things that you can do in a survival emergency or any emergency is build a shelter. Most of the students that have been to my classes will tell you straight out they never had any clue that it would take as long as it did to build a decent shelter. This saves all those calories, saves all that time, and puts you in a really good boat very quickly, and it does it for almost no weight at all. This whole kit is less than 8 pounds, and that's with this belt. And that's with all that food. And when you look at everything, once we put up the pictures, everything that's in these fire kit and the fishing kit and stuff, you'll see there's a lot of weight there. There's a lot of items in there. And it's a well thought through kit. But I see a lot of them that have a space blanket in there, you know, just a simple fold up Mylar blanket. Well, we've made something a lot better for a lot of years, and it's called a casualty blanket. And if I had to be stuck in the woods overnight with a survival oriented blanket item, this is the one that I want, because it's the one that's going to actually work the best. And if you don't know that much about edible plants, this is great. Some people are going to say, Mike, why'd you put food in there? Why did you even bother to put food in there? Well, it's simple. This is all long-term storable stuff. It's going to stay in there relatively unaffected for a good amount of time. And if you get your shelter set up in an emergency and you're making a plan, we think best when our bellies are full. We don't make good decisions when we have no food in our stomach. The more calories drop, the more carbohydrates we lose, the less our brain functions. The more likely you are to make a hell of a bad mistake. And what I'm looking at with this is it's simple, it's cheap, it fits in here, you can throw it in there. I don't know too many people that a pack of chicken ramen, they won't eat it. The trail mix, so on and so forth, simple oatmeal, some flavored oatmeal, easy to make, easy to use, and it's going to get you by. It's going to make you a lot more comfortable while you try to put the fishing kit into use, try to do some trapping and so on. And So I highly recommend you get a kit like this, you build a kit, you make the micro food kit. You put it in there. And this is something you can wear around on your person, even in a canoe. It's not going to get in your way. And we can stop hearing about my canoe tipped over and I lost my backpack and I ended up with no hope, in freezing water out in the middle of nowhere. And we can quit hearing about all those survival stories that, quite frankly, shouldn't be happening. You can carry it around if you're going bow hunting, you're going hunting, wherever out in the backcountry. That's easy to strap around your waist. Easy to take with you, not noisy. There's nothing rattly in here. You can carry it, wear it on your waist, get out there in the woods. It won't hurt you in the tree stand, that kind of stuff. You can move, shift around. It's not as bulky as a backpack. If you're going hunting and you're serious hunting, you're probably bringing a backpack with you anyway.